Hi, y'all.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Oklahomies in the City.
We're sorry it's been a while,
We're
but
very sorry.
Katie and I's schedules have just not been conducive to getting together.
Because the thing about living in New York is you have to work like 5 jobs to live in New York.
And we were both working on shows in Brooklyn.
Not anymore, me. Mine closed yesterday. I realized that now I don't have a show going on, so I'm technically just a waitress in New York with a stage management master's degree.
I was babysitting at a black tie wedding at the Mandarin Oriental. I was the only person there in a dress from Target, I can promise you that, and the only woman whose nails were like this.
Okay, so we're doing this, we're gonna do a theater survey. First question is, what is your, oh God.
You want to try that again?
What's your favorite show that you've ever been in?
My favorite show I ever did was I did a one act by Tennessee Williams called 27 Wagons of Cotton. My second year of grad school. It's the first time I got to work with my buddy Matt Hawkins, who's a director. I rarely go.
Nailed it.
But I was like, I did this show and I was like, I felt really good about my work in it. It's a short play, but it's a really beautiful play and it's complicated and it taught me a lot about comedy because it's like a really dark subject matter, but it's actually hilarious at times. And
this answer's so serious.
Oh, do you want me to give a bullshit one? Katie, what's your favorite theatrical experience?
Probably Alabama Shakespeare Festival, God of Carnage. Yeah, it was a great time. I did have to mix up vomit and make clafouti for every show. I don't know why that was. Clafouti, they eat this dessert in the show called clafouti. It's a French like cake tart type of thing, and I'm not sure why it was my job, but I had to make the clafouti for every show. And
you make a good clafouti?
I make a great clafouti. Least favorite show. What's your least favorite worst show you've ever done?
What's yours? Let me think.
Oh man, I was gonna say Korea. Korea.
I have to pull an Andy Cohen pass.
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. I'm gonna plead the fifth in this question.
Okay, and not to say the show was not bad.
The experience was bad.
The experience was just.
I will say this.
I almost completely walked away from stage managing in theater.
I will say this. This I feel comfortable saying.
Okay.
The most painful experience was always doing Oklahoma Shakespeare in the Park as a teenager because it was so hot. My dress was made out of couch material, so it was like
couch material.
Yeah, it was like the thickest, heaviest thing, and you would put your hand in my sleeve, and it would actually be like warmer in my dress. I'm not built for outdoor theater unless it's maybe in, I don't know, the North Pole.
What is the funniest like line club or mishap that's ever happened to you?
Last year, I was doing a musical Annie at the Penobscot Theater in Maine, opening night. To a sold-out, packed crowd in this big old opera house. We get to the end of the show, and the staircase was on wheels, and it didn't, on opening night, they hadn't yet put like a brake on it. So we go to make our, like, 3 of us all move at the same time, and the staircase starts to move, and I'm like losing balance, and so I fall off the stairs. It's like a 10-foot drop.
Oh my God.
But as I'm falling, I knock one of the other maids off, and she falls down on me. And so I fall, dunk. Stephanie falls down on top of me. And then Jasmine Ireland, I don't know if you fell, or I've heard rumors that it looked like Jasmine then like jumped on top of us, trying to make it look like it was like supposed to happen. So I don't know if Jasmine fell or was trying to cover what. So we did 3-maid pile up. And apparently from the audience, all you could see were like legs and like petticoats. But then like I got up and then just like we just kept pretending like nothing was wrong. But I ended up having to go to physical therapy while I was in Maine.
Oh my God.
Because they said I had like football sprains. Is what the doctor in Maine called it.
That's really funny.
Yeah, fucking.
And so that's just something that would happen to you.
Oh yeah. But I got a great massage afterwards.
Well, I mean, I'm not usually on stage, so like I can't. But the funniest thing that has ever happened to me during a production was this past summer I was at Alabama Shakespeare Festival and we were doing Ring of Fire, the musical. 'Musical, and the woman who was playing like, I don't know, like a 20-year-old woman, she was like, "Oh my God, you're so funny." And I was like, "Thank you." And she was like, "Oh my God, you're so funny." And I was like, "Oh my God." And so that's just something that would happen to you. Oh yeah. But the funniest thing I've ever has that has ever happened to me was this past summer I was at Alabama Shakespeare Festival and we were doing Ring of Fire, the musical, and the woman who was playing like June Cash. She was playing like the older version of June Cash, and also Johnny Cash's mother in the beginning of the show. So Allison's line was, he met Carrie Rogers on October 26th, 1930 something. And instead of saying Carrie Rogers, she said Carrie Fisher, the actress who plays Princess Leia. And they make it through the scene and they come off stage, and like Johnny, who was playing Johnny Cash, just like explodes laughing, just like dies. And for the rest of the show, it was just Star Wars references to Allison. And I, during intermission, ran to the stage management office and I printed off like a very iconic picture of June Carter and Johnny Cash. I glued Carrie Fisher's face over June Carter's face and hung it in Allison's quick change booth. So that was hilarious. Also, one involving Lauren, we did The Marriage of Pitt and Boo in high school as a one act. This is one of like probably top 5 hardest I've ever laughed in my life. You were playing the mom,
Yeah.
and I was playing Joan, one of like 5 times that Lauren played my mom in high school. And you're supposed to be dead in the scene, right? Were
Yeah,
you dead
I'm,
or
like,
like almost dead?
We're like dead. I don't really remember. And
The chair she was sitting in.
broke. Every fat girl's worst nightmare. I just kept saying my lines, pretending like nothing had happened. And I was just like refusing to admit that like this chair had just broken on stage. And then Michael and Terry, our teachers, were like, brilliant. And so then I didn't, instead of having a new chair, the other characters were sitting in chairs and I sat on the floor surrounded by broken pieces of chairs.
We were like hysterical. And for some reason it pissed off Ben and Tori.
Oh, well, Ben and
Do you
Tori
remember
were
that?
very serious.
They got so mad that we were laughing at you. Like, it's not funny.
That's a deep cut. That is a deep cut.
Oh my god.
High school, man. I also, in high school, we did Gypsy, and I was Mama Rose, and one night, I like had I think I had like a stroke or something, and I was like vomiting after like every song.
You were so sick.
I was so sick. I was like had food poisoning, I think, but I was like after every song I would go backstage just like vomit my brains out to the point where like one of our friend Courtney's mom, Jackie
was
Morris, had to
backstage.
come backstage and like I like got stripped down and they were like fanning me off, and I've never thrown up that many times in a row, but I'd be like on stage and I'd be like, you'll be swell, and then I'd run off stage and go bleh, and then I'd come back on and do another number. But during Everything's Coming Up Roses, I was so out of my mind that I like forgot the words and I started making up words, and I just kind of kept going. I was like, everything's coming up, cotton candy and circus peanuts, everything's like that was more what I said. But like I was just like riffing because I couldn't get to the end because I was so sick. I shouldn't make jokes about that.
No, it's not. That's definitely getting at it. The only consistency with any of our episodes is at some point I always say, I'm just gonna edit that out.
I'm just gonna edit that out. Just gonna edit that out.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.